Evening. You're going to hear some background noise. Got the boat parked between the driveway. I got a semi going by right now. A few months ago, I bought this 16-foot SportCraft Adventurer fiberglass boat from 1968. There's the console, and I'm going to go over what I've done with it to get it up and running. And this weekend, we've already had a couple shakedown cruises. We're going to take it out and do some fishing. It's got a 60-horse Renault engine out of a Renault car, and it was advertised as running when I bought it, and it did not. So if you look down below there, you're going to see a new starter, which helped quite a bit. I then took it to Inboard mechanic, and he tuned up the engine, put new points and stuff in the rotor. Did all that, tuned up, set the valves, all that kind of stuff. Then I took it to a marina, and they went over the stern drive and the shift mechanism up here. It was really stiff, hard to get it into gear, forward or reverse, and very clunky. And they adjusted that for me. They did a great job. I've switched the lights. Aft and forward to LEDs to give a little more brightness, visibility if I have it out at night. The horns do not work. There's no air pump on it, and the spot does not work. I haven't got there yet. The stern drive is actually manual. To raise and lower it, you use this crank. In that square socket, and it's got dual carbs. The red up front, that is the generator. Runs right off the crank, and that's what gives us our power. Very frugal on gas. Like I said, I've had it out twice, a total about 4 or 5 hours running time, and I've used very little gas. I'm really happy with that. Coming up over the transom, you'll see that's from the transducer for the Garmin 4 Plus fish finder that I put on the other night. Hopefully it finds some fish, and we end up catching them. That's the goal of the boat anyway. You can see I already have a hose hooked up. I got a good stream of water coming out. This here is the gas cutoff. I have that in the open position. We should be able to turn it over and get it to start. Choke it. And it hasn't started since Saturday, and today is Thursday, so we'll see how fast it turns over. Might have to, there it goes, and we're up and running. Runs very smooth. Like I said, this is from 1968. The boat is 52 years old. When I headed to the marina up on Lake Erie and you're going to hear that engine noise, they said that the transom had some flex in it, and if you look at the fiberglass, there is some stress cracks in it. And so I took the rear seats out, took the covers out, and I reinforced that whole transom area with 3/4 exterior gray plywood that's all been painted. You can see that in the back there, it's all white. And I gorilla glued that on there. And along the gunnel here on the inside, I've got aluminum banding run all the way to the back of the boat. And again, adhesive on there to provide some support on the way back. I probably stiffened up the transom, but 90% or better. There's very little flex in it anymore. I'm very confident that the marina said the boat was okay, but needed some attention, and I've given it that attention. You can hear it perking right along. I live in Northwest Ohio, and we had it at Indian Lake, and for the first run, and it ran rough. We could manage about 15 mile an hour out of it, and the marina took it, and they adjusted the carbs a little bit. And last weekend we had it out at here comes a Monarch butterfly, gonna fly right past us, and we had it at Delaware State Park on the lake there, and we managed 23 mile an hour. And for a 52-year-old boat, I really think that's acceptable. The gas tank is underneath the bow, and we got a battery under there, and that battery is exclusively for the fish finder. The other battery for the engine is back here underneath this rear seat. I've also got a pair of jumper cables under there. My wife is very particular about us meeting all the Coast Guard regulations. She's been through the book, and underneath the seat is a lot of storage area, and so we have all the required life preservers, and I've got a VHF radio for the portable one that we're going to carry, as well as our cell phones. We're planning on going out in Sandusky Bay, which is a bay up around Port Clinton in Sandusky, Ohio, that should be pretty sheltered for this size of boat. It's only 16 foot. If it's a calm day, then I'll go out between Marblehead Peninsula and Kelly's Island. There's a couple places there to get in off the water if it kicks up. Lake Erie is kind of shallow, and when a wind or a storm comes up, it can get pretty rough. And then you have the boat owners who are less than respectful of smaller boats, and so they'll zip by you at 40 mile an hour, 45 mile an hour, and the wake off of those boats is just tremendous, and could very well swamp me, being as small as we are. The interior, they've refloored it a few years ago, from what I understand. Put the green carpet in, as you can see on the floor. That's all very solid. The lights, like I said, we've switched those over to LED to make that better. Engine's been tuned up and just runs great for as old as it is. You got to remember that a boat engine, unlike a car engine, a boat, you have a boating season, so you're not going to put a lot of hours on that engine. I don't have very much oil consumption, and it just sips gas. The engine itself on the tachometer will go up to about 4,300 RPMs. I'd like to get a tick more out of that. I'd like to get 25, 26 miles an hour out of it. Not to use on a regular basis, but if I need to get into a safe harbor or get off the water quickly, I'd like to have that capacity to do it. So we're going to stay in more shelter areas until we get that done. I've been thinking about getting it painted over the winter. I've got a buddy, he's got a paint shop. Take it down and get that done. We have fuel fill right there, and the VHF antenna, I'm going to take that off and plug that spot right there. It's not something I'll use. I've got the portable one. I don't plan on going far enough out that I'd need any more than the 5 or 6 nautical miles that the radio I bought will do. I'm not crazy about being on the water all the time and getting in trouble, so I'm going to stay out of trouble and just stay up close to shore. Gas tank vent right there. Going to do a walk around on the boat. The trailer's in good shape. I don't know when the boat was on the water the last time. I'm thinking it's been 20 years, something like that. The stern drive says 90 horse, but I know the engine's only 60. So the stern drive would have been all the same stern drive, whether it was a 60 horse, an 80 horse, or the 90 horse that this boat was available with. So I think the stern drive went bad at some point, and somebody bought a used one and put it on there. The stern drive is manual. Even the lift down here, if you've got it all the way down and locked into position, you've got to manually get that and pull that up to release it, to allow you to raise it back up. The transistor for the fish finder. The instructions of the fish finder said that they wanted me to bring this line up and then drill a hole above the water line through the fiberglass, and I didn't want to do that. So what I did was I took one of my wife's cutting boards and cut that up on the bandsaw and made these plates, and I Gorilla Glued those on with their 2X waterproof, water resistant, Gorilla Glue. Let that cure overnight, and then I've screwed onto that with some stainless steel screws and just ran the cable up behind the seat, up the gunnel, up to the console up there. That way I have no actual holes in the fiberglass itself. Just me being precautious. I had taken some caution. I haven't put the trailer lights on. I bought a pair of used magnetic ones, but I did glue those down just to keep them on there. They work fine. It did not have a trailer jack on it. I put that on it, although the boat is well balanced, lifts up and down. And the top, what I did was I bought two watertight tarps, a little bit better grade than an average one. And you can see this seam here. I use contact cement on both sides of that, and let that sit for a little while, and then press that seam together to give me the length to cover this boat. Eventually I'll get a boat cover for it, but I did all that prior to the boat actually running. I didn't know whether it would actually run as a boat, and so you know, if we were getting into the thousands of dollars repairing an $800 boat, you know, it would be hauled off and find a happier home somewhere else. So that was, I was just trying to keep it weather tight. Why we made the repair. So eventually I'll get a top for it and a cover for it. The drives well, goes right down, right out the water. Very stable, a nice boat. It has and I've gotten a lot of compliments on the overall appearance of the boat. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see most of it, at least get most of it in the picture here. It has that classic late 60s, early 70s appearance of a boat, unlike today's, which are a little more glitzy than this one. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. I'm going to get this posted, and if you have any comments or questions, or if you know anything about this boat, this style of boat, this year of boat, I'd love to hear from you. The more information I get on it, the better I'm going to be. Parts are kind of hard to find. There's a place up in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. They still have parts. That's where we got the car parts from. And so I'll do that. And if I get out on some water, I'll try to get a video and post another one of it out there actually going down without a hose hook to it. I'm going to back up a little bit. I got a utility trailer there that I use for my work. And then my little 13-foot aluminum boat with a 2.3 Honda Outboard on it. I've got half a dozen or more boat motors for this one, 5-horse, 6-horse, things like that. But they were all 2 cycles. And I just got tired of smelling 2-cycle oil all the time. So I bought a 4-cycle Honda for it. And that's air-cooled, don't have to worry about water. That works pretty well for the small reservoirs and things like that are around here. We do go out and do some pan fishing. So I thank you for watching the video. Thank you for staying with me. It's been kind of lengthy and I'm kind of talky. So if you, like I said, got comments, got questions, please give me, put a comment down there. Thank you.